Now we are going to discuss the human rights. The human rights are the basic rights which are guaranteed by the government of India or through the Constitution of India. Certain fundamental rights are guaranteed to every citizen of India. Do you think in reality all the people are having the same access of fundamental rights in all corners of India? If you read the Constitution of India, you feel that really in India we have the fundamental rights existing in each and every corner of India. But in actual reality, the region of Manipur, the people of Manipur are even today fighting against their basic rights which are violated by the Indian army. What made Indian army to curb the fundamental rights of Manipur people? What is the reason that made them to fight for these kind of things? Why Manipur people are fighting against the Indian army rules and regulations? Why they can't move on to any court? The situation is that Manipur was a land, historical background of this is that Manipur is a land which was owned by a king in 1891 till India got independence. Manipur was merged into the Indian land by an agreement in 1949. So Manipur became an Indian territory only in the year 1949. So once Manipur became the land Indian part, then many of the tribal communities who are living in Manipur could not accept the decision taken by the king of Manipur. So they are against the decisions of the government handing over their lands. Now in this case they started to protest the decision of the government of India. Automatically, so the Manipur tribal people are against the Indian government. Indian army entered into the scenario. Because if you see the strategic location of Manipur, it is nearby to China, it is nearby to Bangladesh, it is nearby to Myanmar, and it is a triangular region where the international politics are going to be run here. At this point of time, we have issues with China regarding the Tibetan issue. So in order to have better standard or better peaceful atmosphere in India, the Indian army was brought into the region and they have given some special powers called Army Special Protection Force Acts of 1958. This ensures the army to pick up anybody, any human being or any person who is living in the region, attack them or keep them in jail without showing any reason for them, and the actions of the Indian army cannot be questioned under any judicial procedures. So we can't ask any question or we can't claim any of the action taken by the Indian army through this law. It can't be questioned even in the Supreme Court of India. So these special powers have made the army unquestioned in the region of northeastern India. Using this over advantage special powers given to the army personnel in this region, the men, the sons and the fathers have been picked up here and then, and they were asked to torture for them, and they were used to be questioned for the unnecessary questions, and even the normal people, normal citizens were asked more questions, and they were suspected that they were supporting of any kind of anti-India government issues. And coming to women, the women incident was highly drastic, and irritable point is that the women are held for sexual abuse, and this was a common scenario in all the points of the army points. Wherever army is standing there or staying here, they enter into the houses, they beat the men, they destroy them, and they capture the women and they use them sexually, abuse them, and even sometimes if the woman does not accept, they even rape them. These kind of incidents are hundreds in numbers in the region of northeast. So what is the solution for this one? How did the Manipur people fought against this one? Is there any solution for this one? Because Indian government's actions cannot be questioned, or Indian army has been given the special powers and privileges under the article of 1958 Act. So how did the Manipur people fought against the Indian army's rules and regulations? Were they be able to successful or not? If they are not successful, what is the next alternative? If they are successful, how are they successful in this against a mighty power of the acts of Indian land? Now the incidents, we have seen the historical background of Manipur, like what made Indian government to deploy its army in the region of Manipur, and what are the problems that the Manipuri people are facing. Now what is the solution for this one? The women of the common men or the women who are very low level, who are not at all a political activist or a social activist, came to a conclusion that they are going to fight against these people by having a simple solution for this one. See, when does a man do any mistake? Man does a mistake when they are assured that they are not looked by anybody and they are not observed by anybody. Here the army people are doing it, only reason is that no one is going to stop them by any other third party. So these women came up with the common concept of Mera Paibi movement. This Mera Paibi movement is a word which is taken from the Meitei language. Literally it means torch bearers. These women will come out of their houses at night time by having a torch for a stick and only kerosene rags. They don't have any weapons for them to do or to safeguard themselves. Only thing is they come as torch bearers and they get it from every ward, every village, every corner of the region. We get one representative standing at the corners of the places and ensuring that there is no disturbances which is happening in the community of that particular region. And if they find any disturbances of any region, all these women would go there and see what is happening there. Automatically the people will get scared. Those are moving with fire, the lightness will be coming there, nobody will be in darkness. And when the people are going there from one region to another region, when they hear something, automatically the other people, those are sleeping, also will get raised and they started to ask questions like what is happening. In this way they started to create awareness for the people in the region. They started to motivate the people, and these women used to change their turns day by day. And if there is any disastrous movement or any violent disturbances in the region, the number of participation of members would be increasing more. In this way the women started to escalate a movement of torch bearers, which became a very famous one, and army members, in order to do mistakes, they became cautious, like along with them they are having somebody who is observing them. In this way they started to escalate a movement to safeguard their own interest and their own security. So when there is a necessity, automatically the invention will be coming here. Necessity is the mother of invention. Of any kind of necessity will generate the alternative for invention for us. In this way, this was a movement which was a necessity of the people of Manipur to ensure that they are safe and secure at the night times, especially for the women. Now we have seen the movement of the women gathering together and asking for dreams, and the incident of this government has to be revoked clearly, like why the Indian army is given special powers in that region. If it has given at certain point of time, let us revoke and reduce the powers of the Indian army. Make sure that all people are living peacefully in that region. In this way the demands have been increasing and many of the women have been started doing fastings. We have one more example here, that is Iron Sharmila doing fasting from last 13 years, and she was kept under house arrest, and her motto was only to rechange or revoke the laws of army. The special powers of the army has to be revoked. We have women doing fasting for many years, asking for the special powers of the army to be changed, because the army powers are given in the 1950s and 60s of that particular moment and the raising scenario of that particular time. But these powers have been torturing many of the local people, especially men and women in various kinds. So it has to be revoked. We have one example, Iron Sharmila doing fasting for nearly 13 years, asking for the only purpose of revoking the army's special powers. The union government has kept a committee under the leadership of Mr. B.P. Jeevan Reddy, who was the ex-Supreme Court judge, Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, to study about the conditions, to analyze the facts, what is the reality happening in Assam region or in the Manipur region or in the northeastern region in the broader context. Is the army doing anything like this, or are there only rumors? Are really women are facing any kind of troubles? Why the movements are getting escalated? What is the major scenario of this? These all things, and even Mr. B.P. Jeevan Reddy has submitted his report, but nothing has been done till now. Let us hope the government will revoke the laws and the things of the army in the northeastern region. And coming to the fact that we have seen the movements from Martin Luther King to the Mary Pebi movement of the Manipur region, where the people started to ask questions against the government. See, the only thing is, the almost all the movements were run peacefully in a non-violent manner, where they have seen their success, and at the same time they have created the awareness that this also can be asked, that also can be asked, like people's basic rights can be asked and can be taken. We can ask the environmental rights to be protected. We can ask the globe to be protected, to have a sustainable development. The diversity of the globe to be protected. The Greenpeace movement, we have seen the escalation. The environment has to be protected when any major development has been taken place. On whose cost is the development being taking place? Like at the cost of the poor, or for the benefit of the rich and the rich industrialist people, or the powerful group of nations? In this way, we have seen various things. Now we have to see the key point which is bringing the changes is that when the people's needs or necessities are not met by the particular governments or the institutional heads of a political system, where the questions or the movements have been raised asking for better developments of the people's needs and scenarios. This is simply can be quoted that necessity is the mother of invention of anything. The people are feeling necessary, then automatically the movements have been started, where they were not addressed their basic needs or any kind of basic rights or any of the thing what they feel is necessary, automatically the movements will rise. The governments has to respond for them. If they are not responding in the appropriate time, it would turn into a coup d'etat or a revolt or a major revolutions. In this way, the people are very cautious in the present century, which has been witnessed for us, where we have studied from the Martin Luther King Revolution to the Mary Pebi Revolution against the Indian Army Special Powers Act in India.